I mean, how do you even get on board of this ship? Who was the dipshit who designed this thing?
Hey, don't you dare diss my ship.
Well then, the third ship from Zorgan Peterson, a ship that cost not only 100 times more than any of its other ships, but more than 500 times. It's like seeing something like Moskvich trying to build a Ferrari from scratch. You know, at the end it's gonna be made out of golden hammers and sickles. But fuck it, let's see if Zorgan actually delivered anything noteworthy for that 51 mil price tag. Honestly though, unless this thing has built-in blowjob and cunnilingus machine, I'm writing this off as another pipe dream cooked up by cheapo ship makers. Trying to wear big boy pants, then shitting them and eventually burning the house down in attempts to hide the evidence.
Unless the idea of a perfect craft has a chair with built-in fellatio while in combat, I don't think you're looking at the right product here. This masterful piece of machinery has all of the top-notch necessities for any high-class mercenary or bounty hunter, starting from the big fuck-off gun and ending with a sleek design of the ship. And speaking of looks, have you seen it? The magnificent shape, the sleek wings, the threatening front, the massive engines that keep you coming back for more. The artistic craftsmanship that went into this vessel is beyond anything that I have ever seen.
Now, let's talk about post-purchase rationalization. Remind me, how much did you spend on the ship's cosmetics alone?
Well, I mean, yeah, I have spent a shit ton of money on ship kits and skins than I have for any other game, but it's still a really good ship. I know how to spend my money. I'm not stupid.
Well, that's debatable. I mean, the sole fact that you can't distinguish full throttle from brakes as well as friend from foe makes me put that statement to question. Seriously, how many times have you rammed my ass? Fuck, if I were gay I wouldn't complain, but even then, you're not gentle.
Oh, fuck off, man. Right, now, where was I? Ah yes, the thrusters. And not just the main engines, which look awesome in their own right, but the frontal thrusters as well, which have been built into the wings and blend in quite nicely. The stabilizer wings are there for speed, obviously. Add on top of that the new spoilers and you nearly have a race car. Damn it, Dev, where are my hot rod paint jobs? I need them. Gotta go faster. Faster, faster, faster!
What's next? You want to poorly paint the thing blue and put spikes on it?
Wait, is that an option? I need this. Anyways, while some may argue that the pointy nose of the FDL might give it the look of a Pinocchio ship that gets longer the more you faff about in it, I think overall it gives off a superb vibe of a futuristic space shuttle. Out of all of the big ships in my opinion, the Fer-De-Lance seems the most feasible spaceship in the game. It's a bit rounder than its counterparts, but I like my ships nice and curvy.
Well, for my taste I'd rather go with TheYamiks' approach, straight lines and flat surfaces. Now, as I step aboard the ship, frankly knowing Zorgan Peterson, I expected the most cheap materials that could be fitted in the thing without it being made out of pure cardboard. Well, I was wrong on the most cheap part, but nevertheless, the cockpit does feel rather cheap.
Oh, come on, really?
See, Orc is a cheaper ship, and compared to its cockpit, this one just looks like lower middle class citizen equivalent in ship design. No blowjob, no cunnilingus machine, no cup holders! What the fuck, Zorgan? Did you suddenly become too good for fucking cup holders, you cheap shit? Where the fuck will I put my horse cum smoothies now?
You have issues. You know that, right? Right?
Well, whatever, it's like your opinion, man. As for seating in the ship, well, we can straight away determine that there's something wrong with Zorgan, as they think that the correct side to pilot from is the right one.
But actual planes have pilot seats on both sides.
So what, because some tea-sipping ingrades decided to be special, we must throw away any standards? Of course not, we can just nuke them from the orbit. Also, it's weird that your co-pilot's sitting slightly behind you, which makes me ask the question. Why didn't you do what TheYamiks did? Just have your pilot in the middle and the co-pilot behind you on the platform. It saves space as well as makes aiming better, but nope. Fuck you, we think good design. Zorgan use rock, make fire.
It is a good design though.
That's debatable. At the very least, for Fer-De-Lance, Zorgan had ditched its weird and questionable approach to window design from Holler and Adder, and made Fer-De-Lance's cockpit one of the best in the game, allowing a magnificent visibility for the pilot.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on this one. Though there is that tiny bar in the middle of the cockpits, it's not that bad. At least I can live with it.
Frankly, I have my suspicions that Zorgan basically stole Lacon's engineers and forced them into cage match, and then gave the task of crafting the cockpit to the last nerd standing. Man, the bitch boy slap fights can be sometimes intense, you know? You won't believe the amount of Klingon insults being thrown around in there.
The engineering that has gone into this ship has made it quite the predator. It's quick and agile in any fight, and while the top speed might not be the best, it can certainly hold its own in a fight, even against the wing if the pilot is skilled enough, outmaneuvering enemies left and right. To bolster its survivability in battle, it has been optimized for very strong shields, so that it could take a beating and then some. Even without engineering, you can reach 1000 megajoules of shields, and remember, this is still a medium-class ship. In fact, it has the best shields out of all the medium-sized ships. If you were to judge it just by the tankiness, you could understandably mislabel it as a large-class vessel. And what would the Predator be without its claws? And let me tell you, this baby can rip and tear you apart. Not only does it have 5 hardpoints with a nice clustered placement for the mediums on each side of the cockpit, it is also the only medium-sized ship carrying a huge hardpoint that can pack a punch, which makes it great at decimating large vessels with their strengthened hull. Compared to the other mainstream PvP vessels, it has a higher DPS than the Clipper or the Faz, with a competitive speed and excellent shields. Not so much the hull though. You can also rock pretty much any loadout you want on this. The power plant was increased on this thing from a size 5 to a size 6 with the release of Horizons, and I went from liking it to loving it. This is literally the best ship you can have when you want to test out different combinations for combat. I've seen people turning it into a sniper, an all-out Daka machine. Even full PA builds are viable with this thing. I seriously think that the power plant is so OP that you may want to keep your distance from it. Who knows when the pilot might turn into an inexperienced Soviet engineer and make the next Chernobyl out of it. And while we're on the subject of power, a good place to utilize it would be with the utility slots. The FDL has more of them than the average teenager has Zets per day, having more utility slots than anything else in the game, other than the big 3. And if you feel like you could use a boost to your defenses, then I recommend you add a few extra shield boosters.
Well, it's clear the Fer-De-Lance is a pure combat ship. Now, what would happen if you were to have your lobotomy just done and for some weird reason you came to the conclusion that going exploring with Fer-De-Lance would be a great idea? Well, hope you like recycled shit, cause in desperation after weeks upon weeks of traveling just to reach my assistant from Lave, you'll be eating a lot of it. So yeah, the jump range of this thing is abysmal. In fact, it's the 4th worst in the game. What Zorgan essentially is telling all of you combat pilots is to get fucked and eat shit. Oh, but that's not it, you little fucks. When you look at the cargo bay of Fer-De-Lance, it becomes even sadder. 70 tons. At maximum, you can carry 70 tons. The whale fucking dolphin has more space than this thing. So yeah, don't expect anything even remotely good from this ship in trading and mining fronts. But seriously, how damaged you have to be to actually go mining in Fer-De-Lance? Still, all that wouldn't be too big of a problem for a combat ship if not for additional hull reinforcements and shield cells you can put on the ship. But hey, again, it looks like Zorgan thinks that it's all good enough. After all, Adder has almost twice as small cargo bay, so this must be an upgrade, right? Oh, but the fun doesn't end there, dear space wastes. There's one additional problem with this ship I came across when trying to get some materials from ships I killed. Who the fuck in Zorgan Peterson Company thought that it'd be a bright idea to put cargo scoop at the ass of the ship?
Yeah, I've had a fair few items fly into the depths of space.
This has to be the dumbest thing I've seen in a while. Does that mean the Zorgan engineers eat their dinners with their asses too? Wait, actually, this is a good way to distinguish each type of ship engineer. Every single one does it a bit different. Well, anyways, because of this brain-dead design, it took me what felt like an hour of failed attempts to scoop one fucking material. Seriously, if I would ever meet the idiot who put the cargo scoop for Fer-De-Lance there, I would gladly castrate and exsanguinate the fucker. And trust me, I would gladly use the least sharp and most rusty equipment I could get my hands on. In fact, I might as well piss on the tools for sterilization too, just for you, Mr. Engineer. And yes, I know Adder has the same issue, but at least it's a small ship that's not long.
I reckon it makes up for it though in the form of sound. The reverberating feel you get from hearing the acceleration reminds me of a futuristic Mustang muscle car. And when you hit that boost button, you get the sensation that it's about to unleash all the power it has under the hood. While I personally get tired of hearing most of the ship boost sounds over and over again, I never get tired of this one. I've even engineered my power distributor to have unlimited boosting.
So then in the end, ship's obviously only good for combat, unlike Zorgan's previous attempts. And that's kind of a weird thing, cause with other ship manufacturers you can see at least some kind of pattern going on, but this one? Nope, it seems that these guys are following their own drug-fueled path.
One hell of a drug though.
Quite so. Frankly, the biggest surprise for me in the ship came in the form of comparably gigantic power plant. And if you can't really tell, I do really like the ship. But when it's all said and done, to me, the ship as a whole really resembles more of an old Russian Moskvich filled with Urlas and AKs. It's also just as terrifying if I'm honest.
Indeed, comrade, a sturdy, reliable Biet machine with enough vodka to power it for days. The only thing that is missing are module spaces to make the mileage a bit bigger. Then again, where would we put the distillery?
Oopsie daisy. Well, there goes that, I suppose. Don't bump that. Fuck! Ah, I hate these hitboxes. What the fuck?
Wait.
I think this installation just disappeared for me.
Yeah, same. Where's the installation?
What the fuck?
What? What? How is this? Oh, what?
It moved. It what?
I didn't see it move.
What?
That's not how this works.